Hey y'all, Joe for here, the cranky old gay guy. Okay. It is Thursday in the AM. I'm actually doing this during the day. Surprise. And today I'm going to be talking about destiny, I guess. Is it destiny? Well, I'm talking about all things, that phrase, all things happen for a reason. Well, I don't need to tell you how that can make me cranky when something happens that you don't think should have happened. So I'm going to ask you, do you believe that all things happen for a reason, or is that just a bunch of bullpucky that you're fed? Hmm? Because sure, everything happens for a reason, but it doesn't mean it happened for a reason that's going to benefit you. It happened because it happened. So there's a reason it happened. So yeah, everything did happen for a reason, but it's not like, oh, God's plan made it happen, so this would happen, and then you're going to learn this. That's just crank city to me. Because yeah, you do learn something from everything, okay? But do you really have to go through hell to learn something that didn't really need to happen to begin with? Even though people will say, oh, it happens for a reason. God has a plan. It's destiny. It's your destiny. It's fate. You you can't change it because, well, everything happens for a reason. Oh. Yeah, I don't buy that either because that would mean that you believe in fate. That would mean that numerology is real, astrology. Well, all of these things are real, but it doesn't mean that they're real in that they exist as something, but they're not real in that they actually do what people say they do. You know what I mean? It's like astrology. Today, you're going to meet a kind person who's going to help you in ways that you couldn't imagine. Okay? Somewhere during the day, if you don't, unless you don't go out of your house, you will meet somebody, and I guess you could interpret whatever happens between the two of you as kind. And you did learn something from that. So, in that way, I guess your horoscope was correct. But what if you stayed at home, didn't watch TV, didn't video chat, all you did was read a book? Well, I guess that they could say that you met a character in the book and you learned something from them. So, in a way, that horoscope would be correct again. But when people harp on that and say that's the way it is and it's true and blah, 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 that just gives me indigestion. That's what I'm doing now. I'm belching. And it also makes me cranky. So, if you believe in that stuff, that would mean that you would need to believe in the tarot. You would need to believe in astrology. You'd need to believe in numerology. You'd need to believe in the Bible code. Those of you who don't know what the Bible code is that every letter in the Bible is assigned a certain number, um, and certain numbers you can go through the Bible and it'll give you a secret story that's hidden in the Bible that no one else sees, or it'll predict the future. Okay. Oh, and Nostradamus, as long as we're on the future, Nostradamus. Yeah, he got some things right, roughly, in that he got things right in a general sense, kind of like when someone talks to the dead and says, "Is there someone in the room who's lost somebody with the letter D in their name?" Oh, you got 50 people in a room. Someone knows someone who's died that has the letter D in their name. Okay, Richard, Dick, Deborah, Debbie, Donald, Doofus. There's a lot of D names out there, or names where the letter D is within the name, like Garland. Well, it's at the end, but it's still part of it. So, excuse me. We're going to move past that. We're going to go back to Nostradamus. Yes, out of 1,000 predictions, you're going to get some of them right, but no one focuses on all the ones that they got wrong. So, was this really destiny? Do the things that they say happen for a reason? If things happen for a reason, that would mean that they're predetermined, right? because you and your soul needs to learn a specific lesson. And in order to learn that lesson, you have to go through this or this or this. And it's all predetermined because I see a problem here. Because if you have to go through this or this or this, and everything's predetermined, why do you have three choices? Because if it's predetermined, they, as in whatever's determining things, already knows which option you're going to choose. So why present you with three? If they know you're going to go with option A, just give you option A. Why the B and C? Ah, you say, it's because then they'll give you the impression that you have free will and you can choose between the three. Well, if that's the case, fate or whatever knows that you need three choices, and all three choices stem back to the same central core. So it doesn't matter which one you pick, it's going to be the same outcome. Do you believe that? I'm asking you, please comment. Tell me, do you believe it? Because when people swear that things happen for a reason and are predetermined and there is no free will and it's all fate, you're predestined. The stars tell a story. Predestined in the stars that you're going to find the love of your life and you're going to live happily ever after until you're not. Nobody lives happily ever after. There's conflict in every relationship, regardless what type of relationship it is. Work, social, romantic, sexual, whatever. There's going to be conflict. And on that point, I want to talk about divorce. People will say, oh, they have a failed marriage. Oh, they're on marriage number 3 or 4. They've had so many failed marriages. Oh, their marriages all fail. Well, that's bullshit stuff because maybe they didn't fail. What do you deem a failure and what do you deem a success? If your marriage is rotten and the couple hate each other, even if they stay together, that's not a successful marriage. Now, when they split and are happy, that's a successful marriage. So the marriage was successful in that it played itself to a certain point when it was no longer viable and it was going to get unsuccessful. So end it while it's a success, come out while you're still on top. Then you have an uplift going on when you move to your next relationship and you're not down in the gutter where everyone's saying, oh, look at that failed relationship. Loser, loser, loser. Well, I got to tell you, there's this something out here with the Thermo King something, and I'm watching a neighbor across the intersection flag down and jump up and down and wave his arms. And excuse me, but I get sidetracked easily. That's why I usually have the door closed. Because right now I'm looking right through the dining room, right through the living room, right through the picture window, right across the intersection to this triplex, and the guy that lives in the middle unit jumping up and down, waving his arms, trying to flag down a truck. But that's none of my business because I'm sure it's happening for a reason and it's predetermined and there's nothing I can do to change the outcome of what's happening outside. So I'm just not going to bother. Okay, I have said my piece. I want to keep it short today because yesterday's video was like 23 minutes long and I didn't want to really do that. But I am rambling. I'm not super cranky this morning. I'm cranky at the idea of someone insisting that everything happens for a reason. And on that last note, someone you care about gets killed in a car accident, just a random car accident. And people come up to the person who lost someone and go, oh, all things happen for a reason. It's going to be okay. Well, the last thing that person who lost someone wants to hear is that bull coming from someone else's mouth. So they're just going to flip them the big finger and say, F off, leave me be. That is your belief system. That is not mine. And then they start questioning, well, if this is God's will, why would God do that to me? God. We're not even going to talk about God or who your God is or your gods are, because God is the subject of another video entirely that I'm sure will offend my views will offend half of you. Half of you will be in support of what I say. And the other half, especially like Gen Z, um, are going to go, well, then again, I don't really have any Gen Z viewers that I'm aware of. If you're Gen Z, let me know, because according to my analytics, everyone that watches this show is 45 and over and 99% male. Well, I don't know if they can find out the 99% thing. I don't know how they do that because it's not like they're doing genetic testing like they do at the Olympics. Yeah, that's another issue. The boxer who got challenged because she won, and now they're saying she was born a man. And when I say they, I mean the Hungarians, I guess, and the far right. And someone did send me a message asking me to do a video on that. I do know more about it now than when it happened, so I might touch on that in a bit. But because the subject of this video is something else, all I can say is everything happens for a reason. I'll talk to you all later. Have a good day. Bye bye.